Before I begin my presentation, let me start with a question. Who is a Netflix subscriber here? Yes, everyone is a Netflix subscriber. So you know when you're watching your favorite show and the good guy is just about to win or the bad guy is just about to win, you see maybe a little bit of pixelization, and then it clears up and you kind of go about your merry way, you forget all about it. That's Netflix's way of dealing with a network congestion problem. That's a demand issue that they're managing. What they don't do is just shut off the service altogether or ask you to get up and turn it off so that others might watch. But as an industry, in the utility industry, that's what we do. Right? We turn off air conditioners at the hottest times of the day, hottest times of the year, for some, so that others aren't affected. What we need is better tools. At Tendril, we're building those better tools. Tendril is a software company based in Boulder, Colorado. Our mission is to create a smarter market for energy products and services. So as you all know, the energy industry is changing, the landscape's changing pretty radically. I think you can look at the REV initiative as kind of an example of that. And we're allowed to make revenues in new ways. So Tendril is launching something that we call orchestrated energy that is exactly that. Orchestrated energy takes advantage of kind of the big data that we have and the intelligence that we have in the cloud, allows us to talk down into these homes, to all these different devices, classes of devices in the homes, and orchestrate across those devices to allow that home to use energy in a smarter way. Now, I know that everybody is looking at, I'm sure every utility executive in the room has a team that is looking at in-home battery technology and evaluating its pros and cons. And I think if you haven't already gotten the summary of the results, here's the sneak preview. Probably not cost effective yet. Probably not solving a big enough problem yet. The capital can be deployed in probably more effective ways inside the home. Susan, of course, is doing utility scale stuff, and that's a very different problem. But inside the home, probably not there yet. But the home itself is a battery. You can use the thermal mass of the home and manipulate it in a way, using this kind of connectivity into the home to manipulate these devices in a way that allows you to basically treat the home itself as a battery. And so by doing this, by allowing our algorithms to talk to these devices, the thermostat, the load control switches on heating pumps or on pool pumps and hot water heaters, we can shift load around relative to the tariff of the customer to make that home use energy in the most cost-effective way. Orchestrate is all about taking advantage of the new classes of devices that are turning up in people's homes because people are opting to put them in there, and allow those homes to use energy in a smarter way than it has been in the past. This orchestrate step is becoming more important every single day. The complexity of the home is changing radically. There are new ways that consumers are able to generate power, or their homes are able to consume power. And that's creating, combine that with the fact that there are challenges on creating new generation, and that's creating challenges new challenges in meeting demand. And that's really happening. This kind of evolving landscape in the home is happening at the pace that it's happening because of consumer choice. There's more consumer choice available today than it has ever been in the past. But that's happening because customers demand it. I think a fascinating example of this is Uber. Uber, who remembers what ordering a taxi was like before Uber? Yeah. Well, fantastic customer experience, wasn't it? You stood on the curb, you flailed wildly. If you could actually flag down the taxi, get them to stop, then it was like Hunger Games. There was someone on the corner who's trying to jump your cab, and so obviously there was a huge amount of room for a better consumer experience there. Combine that with the technology that has been evolving at the same time, and you had this perfect opportunity for Uber to come in and disrupt that industry. So today, they're the largest taxi company in the world, and they actually don't even own any taxis. And that has been true, that's allowed to have been happen because of that kind of consumer centricity that they took. And I think the exact same thing's happening in energy. Now, I'm not saying that traditional generation or transmission is going away, not at all, but I do think that consumers' expectations of their energy and their energy providers is changing. And this traditional demand management way of turning off big loads in order to kind of protect a larger group isn't putting the customer in the center of that. This isn't old style, turn it off, turn it on. This is happening every single day, all day. So the old way of sending out an army of HVAC installers, installing load control switches by popping open compressors and spending tens of millions of dollars so that you might run 4 events a year is the opposite of what we're talking about here. And so, I know this, this sounds kind of future and everything else. This is actually happening right now. We're live in 2 of the largest utilities in the country, and our pilot results are looking really promising. We're seeing 5 to 10 times greater greater peak reduction than traditional demand response programs. And that's true because this is happening all day, every day, and it's happening in a way that the customer's just happy. They're staying within their comfort band, and the home is being managed more effectively. So I think we all recognize that the consumer's changing, their expectations of their service providers are changing, but the tools that we have just haven't been keeping up. So what we need are better tools that balance both the customer's needs and the utility's needs. So going forward, let's put the customer at the center of that equation. Going forward, let's be more like Netflix. Thank you.